officer shows up to quote, make sure everything is all right. Give it to me. I didn't. I tried. He asked me, do we need help? I tried to hand him a narrative. He says, I refuse to accept that from you, and walks away. So he's saying I refuse police service when I literally tried to hand him the narrative I have written up with all the fucking links of all the fucking evidence for the cases. Yet he, on camera, just walked away for the millionth time and refused to take it. No one sees a problem with this? Oh, Heather was. Oh, she was? Well, let's lock her up. Let's put her on a fucking $400 bond, and then let's sit around and listen and laugh when people say the only way that they can get out of prison is if they suck their dick. Like, that's so professional, so respectful. That's the way you treat a mother. That's the way you treat a fucking person who's being...
Police Department.
Your call has been forwarded to the voicemail for Paul Rojas. No one is available to take your call. At the tone, please record your message. When you've finished recording, you may hang up or press the pound key for more options.
I've called you guys more than 100 times. This is with reference to a sexual assault case, among numerous others. You guys interviewed me, arrested me. I was sexually harassed while in your custody by a man. Regardless of the details, you have a report there. I just provided you the number. If you could please kindly give me a call back at your earliest convenience to 312, or email me at the number 1, Heather, my first name, HeatherGee @gmail.com. That would be fantastic. Again, this is with regards to gang stalking and severe abuse, including a bludgeoning, sexual assault, and being stabbed by 3 women with screwdrivers 11 times. And it doesn't end there. I've also been thrown out of my own home with a lease and rental receipts in hand, beaten by a man on parole, in possession of guns, drugs, and other paraphernalia. And it's all been reported again to 6 area police offices in Chicago. I've passed out handwritten and typed up narratives about what's been going on with direct links to the videos that I've posted to any law enforcement officer that I pass by. I've printed out business cards, thousands of them, with a direct link to all of the proof, and put them on windshields of cars up and down the streets. I don't know what to do anymore. I've been chased out of 21 jobs. No one seems to give a fuck. And I'm pretty sure you guys take home a paycheck to give a fuck. Again, Heather Gillespie, if you could give me a call. This is Heather. This is Heather. I am not being permitted to work. I have been chased and harassed out of literally 21, that's 21 jobs. DoorDash, I was Dasher of the Month for DoorDash every single month. Things were just going too well. I had the money to pay for my Airbnb. I could support my children. Everything was starting to even out, and that's when they destroyed my vehicle. I can prove that I have been gang stalked. I can prove that I have been violently victimized numerous times. I can prove that I have been sexually assaulted. Yet here we are going into year 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. I want to sue. I've written a 370-page narrative about everything. I have 0 criminal record.
You guys interviewed me, arrested me.
No criminal record at all. Nothing. I am trying not to get neurotic again because, to be quite honest, I don't have any mental health issues. I have ADHD and anxiety, which I was diagnosed with as a child, and neither of which are mental health issues. ADHD, in my opinion, means you are smart and your brain works faster than others. So I don't allow people to make me feel like I'm coming from a deficit with that diagnosis. Also PTSD for sexual assault and some other things. But PTSD is a psychological injury. It's not a mental health disorder. Like a bruise, it can heal. Okay, so I don't have mental health disorders. I have been twice unlawfully locked into a hospital, not a psych ward, a hospital, a regular ward, after having my head split open. Now you go back to the hospital now and ask for those medical records. They wrote 5150. I was bludgeoned. I was attacked by a man with a tire iron and forced, because I was unconscious, picked up by ambulance and taken to the hospital. And they logged my hospital stay as a 5150. I have 4 independent psych evals, and 5 if you include my own personal doctor, Central Primary Care, Dr. Haresh Solani. If you include all of their opinions and all of their notes, I have 5 of them clearing mental health. saying there is absolutely nothing wrong with my mental health other than, quote, relationship stress, and stress that is causal to the abuse I am being forced to relive over and over and over. Where is my money? When this began, my oldest daughter was in 8th grade. She will be a high school senior next year, and I have not so much been given one court date. I am outside in a fucking tent. I am not being permitted to work. I am not being permitted to work on my production company, GoPro Solo. Out my mother since November of 2022. I have been impregnated. I have had my cervix intentionally scratched open in the middle of the night. I have lost twin babies at 20 weeks. 20 weeks, delivered them in the shower of an Airbnb on December 26th. Was ambulance taken to Swedish Covenant for a blood transfusion, and so that they could remove the other fetus with DNC. Call Chicago police, call Swedish Covenant, pretend to be me, and ask where the fetuses were expelled. No one knows. They did not provide us a death certificate. They did not. I lost a baby before at 5 months with my ex-husband, my big kid's father. I was pregnant, 5 months pregnant. I started going into preterm labor. The baby passed away, and we went to Little Res, which was at the time called West Suburban Catholic Hospital. They removed the baby's body. They buried the baby's body. They gave us a memorial for the baby at All Saints Cemetery. Chicago takes me by ambulance to Swedish Covenant Hospital, where both fetuses are missing. No one can tell me anything, okay, about the babies. 2015 was the exact same group, the Marissa, the Dylan, all of their friends. That's who broke into my house and robbed me in 2015. The same people. So not only is law enforcement refusing to assist me in any way, they're funding these people with Airbnbs, apartments, and forcing them to work cases with them. Basically, they took the biggest fucking pieces of shit they could find and gave them a badge to be police officers in the city. They pay for their homes, they pay for their vehicles, and they give them opportunity. One of their friends, I won't say his name not to cause him embarrassment, because he said sorry afterwards and we kind of cleared the air. But I understand what a shitty upbringing he had as an orphan. He raped me. Dylan knows he raped me and came out and became friends with him again and began hanging out with him. One of their friends, I won't say his name not to cause him embarrassment, but I understand what a shitty upbringing he had as an orphan. He raped me. He said sorry afterwards and we kind of cleared the air. And I'm not talking about a rape like, oh, Heather was fucked up and they were getting... No, Heather was asleep and woke up with this man inside of her. Do you not get that? What is fucking wrong with you people? What is wrong with you? I just can't take it anymore. Like, they fuck up my gym membership. They won't let me work out. They extreme limit communication with my children. I've said it before and I'll say it again. I don't know a single person in existence anywhere, ever, who has been through half of what I have been through only in the past 3 years. I just uploaded another video of law enforcement coming out to harass me, right? Trying to hand him the narrative. He comes up and says, someone said that you were getting loud in here. I'm fucking worked up. I'm making all these calls. I'm in my fucking feelings again. I'm reliving all this shit. This is traumatic, right? So someone calls the police on us. So the police come to begin harassing me again. Welcome to my life. At which point in time, I attempt to hand him this. He asks, what's going on? I say, nothing's going on. Please leave me alone. What's going on? Here I have this narrative. Do you need medical help? And he refuses the narrative and walks away. That's not harassment, okay? Eric Scholl took me to Home Depot, bought me an extra Blink security camera, okay? Bought me an extra lock, changed the deadbolt, changed the handle lock, and put a latch and swing lock on the top of it. They still broke it. They stole food, they stole cash, they stole clothes. I called the police the first 10 or 20 times that they broke in. The police never came up. One time, actually. A cute little girl and guy. They looked like brother and sister. They looked like they were probably barely 20 years old. Look, they really looked like Polish kids. I don't even know if they were real cops. My identity's been stolen at least 10 times. The identifying documents of all 3 of my children, including social security numbers and birth certificates, have been stolen multiple times. I've had to freeze all of our credit reports. You know what happens when an ambulance picks you up because you're laying on the ground covered in blood? The police file a report. So for all of you calling me a trick, you got the wrong one, bitch. Someone is coming into my apartment, stealing my clothes and my food and my money, and I'm calling for help. And rather than help arriving, law enforcement shows up and suggests that I go to the doctor. I need help. And it's not in the form of mental health, and it's not in the form of hospital care. I need help finding a way to move back inside to a stable home where I can raise my children in peace, in happiness, in love, where I can stabilize so that I can take a shower and put on makeup and a dress and attend my daughter's dance recital or my daughter's graduation ceremony. I have 3 small children ranging in age from 9 to 16. That means my youngest was 6, 2 months before her 6th birthday, and my oldest was 12 years old, didn't even have a period yet. She didn't even have a menstrual cycle. You don't fucking think that those are the most important years for a child to be with their mother? We're gonna call this time. We're gonna call the Daily Center.
Your call.
Oh, and meanwhile, they're forcing my mother to take a Mexican exchange student. I don't know his name, but I only heard this from my cousin. I'm sorry, who is this, please? No
Is this
one.
a criminal matter? Is this a criminal matter?
I'm trying to explain to you. Again, prior to 2019, I've never even been in a fight before. 2019 came and I started getting attacked physically, violently, bludgeoned, having my head split open,
Ma'am, in order
stabbed.
for me to direct your call to the proper division, I need to know if this is a domestic issue or a criminal issue.
Yeah, and see, common sense says that the way you do that is you listen to the person on the other phone and what they're explaining, and then you respond with advice. So I don't work for the court system, so I don't know what category you would place gang stalking under. And he hung up. It doesn't matter if I call these people nice, patient, kind, kissing their ass, and not a single one of them will even so much as shut the fuck up and let me finish a sentence. They take home paychecks, and I'm sitting fucking tent.
Your call may be recorded for quality purposes.
Good afternoon. Thank you for calling Clerk of Circuit Court. My name is Sarah. How can I help you?
I'm calling because, and unfortunately, I'm not trained in knowing what department will handle it, so you're gonna have to allow me to explain. I was told by another officer that they refer to that as gang stalking. Not gang as in like gang bangers, but gang as in a group of organized people who are following me, harassing me, and harming me. So I'm wondering what I need to do to receive resolution for this gang stalking and to not be left sleeping outdoors in a tent to be raped and abused anymore.
Do you have, sorry, can I have your last name?
Sure, it's Gillespie. Gille, S as in Sam, P as in Paul.
Wait. G as in girl?
ILL.
Is it Z as in girl?
G as in
zebra?
G as in girl. ILL. E, S as in Sam, P as in Paul, IE.
I-E. And last name. I'm sorry, first name.
Heather.
Heater.
Ther, correct.
Middle initial?
It doesn't matter. Filed an EOP with Judge Maria Sandoval. It's not against. Those are the fathers of my children, and we have an agreed upon, joint custody order that's been in place since 2018. Very troubling.
So Dylan Smith is who? Your boyfriend, your husband?
Dylan Smith was my husband from 2015 to 2019. The state of Illinois blocked our marriage. Our prenuptial agreement was actually drafted there and certified there by a Rebecca Zarnecki, I believe, was the lawyer who drafted the prenup. And they were going through some other legal issues because all of the chaplains supposedly in the Illinois prison system were unavailable for 5 years. So that's what makes me think this was all corrupt from the beginning. I have no criminal record. I have a college education. I don't have any information against anyone. Why would they be coming at me? He was using me as a shield. He was.
Ma'am, can I stop you, please?
Sure.
Right there. A couple of names. I'm gonna say it to you.
Okay. None of that has anything to do with this case. As I said before,
Amy Bolin.
what does that have to do with this case?
That I'm trying to.
No, ma'am,
Is Amy Bolin or
you're bringing up civil cases from the person who robbed my home or was implicated in robbing my home, breaking my window and leaving heroin needles in my house, which has nothing to do with being gang stalked.
These cases are for order of protection.
Right.
That I'm not bringing it
Which
up.
were
I
denied.
know
You
that
did
Amy
bring it up.
gave me-
They were denied. Were they not? So why don't you do your job?
Heather,
Yes, ma'am. What's your name?
I need to tell you
What's
something.
your
You gave
name?
me-
I just gave you a list of all the ways I have been bludgeoned, stabbed, beaten, raped, abused, and robbed. You, in turn, said you were going to provide me with some names to call and then started telling me about old EOPs that were denied by the court.
I'm trying to get your story. I'm trying to tell you, but you're not.
No, ma'am, you're not doing anything like that. You're bringing up cases that are
I'm not
unrelated,
bringing
that
up
are
I
civil.
am not bringing up cases. When you told
How
me
does
your
this have
name,
anything? Okay, I have to take a deep breath now because have you ever been held down and fucked from behind while you screamed out for help? No? Thank God for that. What the fuck does Amy Bolin have to do with me being gang stalked, stabbed, beaten, abused, and thrown into the street, ma'am? Are you going to help me with this case and give me any assistance, or are you going to harass me? Oh, it's okay, Heather. Don't get upset. We're just going to keep fucking you in your asshole no lube, raping you, ignoring all of the ways that you've been raped and beaten and robbed and over and over and over. Over and fucking over. And it's just going to be okay. And when you call for help every single time, you know what we're going to say instead? Well, it looks like someone called Amy Bolin in 2018. What the fuck does that have to do with anything? No,
Okay,
it's
ma'am.
a denied request for EOP.
Ma'am, if you continue to cuss, we cannot service you.
You know what, ma'am? You're right. I'm so sorry. I'm the problem here. Me not wanting to be raped, robbed, beaten with my case, and you've done nothing to help me in any way. I've never done drugs in my life. How are they relevant?
Ma'am, we're just the keeper of the records. We have nothing to do with the process of how everything goes.
And I'm not asking you to have anything to. What's your name, ma'am? I can give you a direct link right now. Pardon me. I can give you a direct link right now on. Excuse me. Let me please finish my. This is unbelievable. I can give you a direct link. Let me repeat myself. Whatever your name is. I'm not a fucking invalid. I'm a college graduate with 8 years experience at one of the most prestigious medical centers that Chicago or the world has. On top of that, I have experience in every industry that was ever created. I'm kind, I'm compassionate, I'm always helping people, I share my food, I've opened my home to people when they needed somewhere to sleep. I don't deserve this. Email them.
Let me ask you this. What are you trying to do? All I know is you're hollering.
I have a paper that has been published to my websites. Why haven't I been assigned a court date? Why haven't I been permitted to see my children? What do I want? I want my car back that was unlawfully destroyed, mechanically sabotaged. Someone nefariously poured some sort of who knows what into it. I replaced all of the parts, the water pump, the gas tank, all this stuff, numerous times, thousands of dollars. Made my final payment on the car, and 30 days later, someone destroyed it, and I couldn't pay to fix it again. How do I go about receiving assistance on this case? This is a public park, sir. The police have already been here. How do I go about receiving assistance on this case?
Police already came. We're gonna
Stop,
leave.
babe, just stop.
When are you leaving?
In a few minutes.
Okay, excuse me.
I got it.
You don't. Please stop. I'm trying to listen and communicate. I'm sorry. Continue, please.
Have you tried a public defender?
Yes, actually, numerous times. I don't need a public defender. I have a lawyer, Nick Albuquerque. He has been my lawyer for many years.
Then your lawyer is supposed to.
He is being threatened with bodily harm. He is the one who gave me the advice to, quote, flee the state.
What is he doing? Because that's what
He's getting threatened. They promoted him. Listen to how corrupt this shit is, okay? He took a promotion to administrative law judge in exchange for his silence on this corrupt case. To call you people and be hung up on twice and then have someone bring up a request for EOP that was denied by a person who's unrelated to this entire situation is a mishandling. Let me finish. You ask a question, but you don't let me finish. That's strategic.
No, because I'm trying to. No, because you're steady hollering, and
I'm not hollering. I'm speaking.
Listen.
Because they don't let me answer a single question because the answers will be damning. I know what paperwork I need, ma'am. I've already filed it 7 times.
That's the only thing. Other than that, you need a lawyer. You need your lawyer, or you need some type of representation. Other than that,
How am I not supposed to be scared or discouraged when these grown-ass men making 6 figures to do this job are scared and telling me to run away? My daughter was in 8th grade when this began. She's about to graduate high school next year, and I want to be there.
Okay.
Thank
All
you.
right.
Have a nice day.
Welcome to Illinois Court Help. Press 1 for English. We can't give legal advice. If you need legal advice or representation, you should talk to a lawyer.
I swear to God, I don't know what to do. I can't. Where am I? So, just so everyone knows, like, I usually don't look like this. If you know me how I usually look, I'm always dressed nicely. I always have makeup on, my hair done. I just can't take it anymore. Like, I miss my kids. All I want from the court system is restitution, for them to replace my car, tell me where to go to be safe, tell me why these people are attacking me. I don't get into trouble. I don't have enemies. Why would these people be attacking me? And then my mom hasn't responded to me since November of last year. It's June. I don't even know if she's alive. I don't have a car. I have to walk 8 to 15 hours just to go visit my kids for an hour or 15 minutes. And then after I'm done doing this, sometimes I can be creative and go do a photo shoot and then hear from the masses how I'm a bad mom and I'm not doing enough and crazy, and I don't have a drug problem, never have. I don't have mental health, never have. And these people, they think they're so smart. Like, they come up to me, they're mean to me, they're nasty to me. And it's like I said, you guys think that it's easy to say, you know, about the situation, oh, well, if she had a better attitude or if she was calmer, they'd help. Before you say that, go to any one of my other videos. Like, I am so articulate, so kind, so calm. This is the 4th year I have been outside with no home. Anytime I try to make these calls anywhere, even when I was making them at Northbridge Mall and I wasn't crying and I was able to compose myself, because for me, when I'm alone, it really gets to me. Like, it really fucking gets to me. But when I'm in public, it's easier for me to keep myself composed, you know? And the babies I was pregnant with, like, who does this happen to? Do you guys understand what being a sibling means? It means you have a brother or a sister, right? Well, for my kids, they have a brother and a sister. There are 3 of them, 1 boy, 2 girls. They grew up with me their whole life. I gave birth to them and they came home with me. They've never been separated from me before. They've always lived with me their whole entire life. It's been 4 years that my children not only have been separated from me, their mother, but from each other. And he's with her. And both of them were weekend dads. I'm not saying bad dads by any means. I'm saying weekend dads. Those children have been my world, my entire their entire lives. 2018, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, and my entire life before that, never even been in a physical altercation in my life ever. Never. Never. I've pushed my sister or scratched her like as children, having petty arguments. I've never been in a physical altercation. I've never been in a and I'm in this fucking tent in the middle of a field. And even here, sitting 40, 50 feet away from anything, where else can I fucking go? I don't have anything wrong with me. I'm a good mom. I always have been. But I have no criminal record. I went to college and it was hard as fuck to get through college. You ever been a young mom with 2 kids under 3, enrolled in school full-time and working full-time? I have. I did that. And then I sit here watching these people, the Dylans of the world, the Marissas of the world, the Natalias of the world. It's sickening. It's just sickening. Natalia was like one of my closer friends. She stole medication from me, Xanax. She stole my vibrator, a vibrator, literal vibrator she stole. I forgave her for all of that and still kept her as a friend. And for what? And I'm not a trick or a rat or anything like that. Been robbed over and over, and I'm the only one who's getting raped in a fucking tent. Then when I talk to my kids, it's like the most eerie and weird like experience because they know what's going on, but I try not to talk about it with them. I just say stuff like minimal stuff, like if it's something that I need someone to remember, like I need a witness on, I'll mention it like it's no big deal. Oh, something happened, no big deal, you know, because I have no one else. My own mom doesn't even call or text or anything. I have not spoken to my mother since November. Then the rest of the time I speak with my kids, it's like my daughter, the younger one, she's like, Mama, where are you? What's going on? Oh, I'm at work. I don't know what my children truly know. All I know is that I can't keep telling my kids that I'm being raped and beaten and robbed and abused, because then my kids are gonna hate police and the system. I don't want my children to grow up in a world where they feel like if someone sexually assaults them and they report it, they're gonna get attacked. If this is how a white, pretty, intelligent, articulate, kind, compassionate woman is handled, what happens for other people, minorities, mentally challenged for real or mentally ill for real, people who can't advocate for themselves, people who don't speak proper English? What happens to them if this is what the fuck happens to me? My father would never in a million years tell me, Heather, you cannot live here. He would never. He just would never do it. I know my father like I know the back of my hand. He would never do it. Yet how I've been reporting to you guys, these uncharacteristic changes in behavior from Xavier that I believe are induced by AI, he calls it radiation. For all of my tech people on here, this is probably going to go over the heads of most of the like moms and dads who just like do regular work. But if you're a tech person, pay attention. I know that there's an AI integration being used. My own behaviors and thoughts are being heavily influenced, and that of Xavier, I know for a fact. He goes from being the most loving, sweet, and attentive person to literally randomly, we're in a fist fight yesterday. "2018, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, and my entire life before that, never even been in a physical altercation in my life ever. Never.
I've never been in a physical altercation. I've never been in a fist fight.
And Xavier's never so much as called me outside of my name before. Yet yesterday, he didn't have a problem putting hands on me. And him. We're wrestling in the middle of the street. Neither one of us were arguing. There was no problem. Over and 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 over. Dr. Walter Staller, who I assisted regularly, Dr. Susan Burke, who I assisted regularly, and then about 30 random doctors. So we had neurology, Dr. Alan Shepard, Dr. Karen Nimigata, GI, a multiple dermatologists. I would never work admin for the derms because their MAs also handle their admin, but I would do cover their front desk at times. 30 or 20 internists on the 23rd floor. when it was Chicago Lakeshore Medical prior to it moving to the building by McClurg. I would do all their diabetic education. Every newly diagnosed diabetic that they had, I would teach how to use a glucometer, go over insulin dosing and food lists. Please don't disconnect the phone. Insulin and their food list, their dosing instructions, explain the diagnosis, go over fitness and exercise routines that they can do to assist themselves. You name it. I mean, and those doctors that I named are just the doctors that I would cover for occasionally. The doctors I worked for permanently were the entire endocrinology team: Susan Burke, Walter Stoller, Renee Aronson, and then Anjali Gopal, Linda Maletti, and Carly Scamra, who all worked in rheumatology. I never had a single issue with any of these people. I attended lunches and dinners through drug reps and vendors, engaging in intelligent and articulate conversation about subjects like Victoza, which is a diabetic medication, blood pressure medications, injectables in general, just a lot of stuff. I have a mind full of so much information. And when my career at Northwestern ended due to what I think mostly was postpartum depression and impatience, because I was working 60 hours a week, my doctors were all incredibly happy with me, never had a single complaint, yet management would not give me a raise. I would do reviews with them and they would be like, well, maybe improve this, maybe improve that, but I don't see you all day, any day. None of you, if I ask you to write up a list of my job responsibilities, you can't do it, but you're the person responsible for giving me a review and a raise? How do you make that make sense? And I started realizing that the world I was living in was politically fueled. And, that I had very little control over anything. It didn't matter that I was outperforming everyone around me and that I was doing the work of 5 to 10 people at a time. None of that mattered. And I'm not saying I'm better than anyone, because there were people like Martha. So for anyone who has listened or been with me through this awful, terrible, crazy shit, thank you so much. Today, no one deserves to be raped. No one deserves to be robbed. No one deserves to be beaten. No one deserves to be bludgeoned. No one deserves to be ignored by law enforcement. Underserved communities, I understand you. I'm sending love to all of you. I even wrote someday on my tent. So if anyone is a lawyer who knows how to deal with civil rights cases or is familiar with the corruption that comes along with civil rights cases, I have got the largest case of your life, probably. A lawyer, and if anyone has a lawyer, I will meet up with them. But yeah, talking about it over the phone really does nothing. If you have a lawyer or are a lawyer, please go to my YouTube. I'm gonna tag it here, and my Insta, the other 5 Instas where I've been documenting for 4 solid years. To set the record straight, I am a medical office professional. I was targeted, groomed, and human trafficked into sex work while police or some authority listened on the phone the entire time. But on camera and on my YouTube channel this morning, they flat out blatantly refused to accept it. So I've done way more than enough, to protect myself and to report all of the things that have gone on. I've been harassed for way more than enough years. I have been unlawfully displaced from my home, held against my will, beaten, raped, stabbed, and bludgeoned, and still to this very day denied a court date when I have gone in and filed 6 in-person petitions, one every 5 to 6 months for the past 4 years without missing any, on camera, on live, here on Instagram, and still to this day they've done nothing. This, I promise you, is not a publicity stunt. If there was a way I could literally trade everything I have, every photo shoot I've created, every anything, just to have my home and my children and my car back, I would do it in a heartbeat. Once I start talking about what's going on here on live or with Xavier or with anyone, no one hurts me. I'm safe for like another day or 2. If I stop talking about the abuse, all of a sudden I'm the target again, and they start coming at me, and possibly my children. I don't know, because they limit communication. All I'm looking for, as I said numerous times, is restitution for everything that was unlawfully taken from me and for the abuse. I've never received any information about attending a court date for the stabbings, for the bludgeoning, for the abuse, for the beatings, for the rape, for anything. And I know that the law states victims have rights. And I've contacted victim services. I've contacted everyone. They have given me zero information. So I am, a grown-up woman, mother of 3. I've been on my own since I was 14 years old. Haven't really, been in my mom's house. Got my first apartment at 18 years old and have been literally solita ever since then. I had a relationship for 5 years with the father of my older 2 kids. We got married and it just didn't work. We grew in opposite directions. Like, he is more of like a soccer family cookout, like beer with the boys, go to work. He works security at a bar, and come home type of guy. And I'm more of like we're waking up, at 7, heading to the gym, coming home to eat healthy, going here, doing this, doing that. So we just took separate paths. And then my next long-term relationship, so I've only had 3 long-term relationships, one like kind of dating relationship in my whole life, in my whole entire life. Like, I really haven't dated a lot at all. And my second relationship ended up turning into 5 years, and it was with the father of my youngest daughter, and I was with him for 3, and then we moved in together, and then right after we moved in together I got pregnant. And like I said, it most definitely would have killed myself given all of this abuse if I didn't have them to live for. 100%, not a doubt about it. So I'm very thankful to God to have them, and my family and friends, and you people supporting me here, because sometimes the support we receive from strangers is the only support we receive, But yeah, I'm going to hopefully get my shit together like in the next few hours. I'm really feeling unmotivated, sad, depressed, just tired. My body hurts. I miss my children, and I spent the whole entire morning calling all these agencies. I'm gonna post you guys the link. It's just crazy because they make me look so bad. Like, the way I actually look, not just the things I say and them like badgering me. They badger me until I like flip out, and then they're like, "See, we told you she was crazy." Okay, what you should do is zoom out, because right now you're too zoomed in. When you zoom in to what's happening only right now, if I'm in hysterics, what does it look like? I'm hysterical. If you zoom out to the entire day, now what's your opinion of me? If you zoom out to the entire week, now what's your opinion of me? If you zoom out to my entire life, now what's your opinion of me, right? So you have to zoom out, and you have to take information for what it's worth, because as petty as it is, these people are out here not playing to build themselves, playing to break you down. I say it all the time, that same energy, that same effort, that same everything you've got going on of negativity, of hatred towards me or anyone else, find a fucking hobby. Go put that energy there, and then create videos and upload them to social media. And comment on your own stuff, okay? If you're mean, I don't like you, and I don't want you in my comments. Thank you so much. If you're nice, you guys are always welcome here, and I love you. And being nice doesn't mean you have to agree with me. You can just not say shit. You know what I mean? You don't have to agree with me, but also don't come in my comments picking a fight, because I'm not for it, and I don't agree with bullying of any kind. I love you guys so much. It's Heather Coco Sanza. My legal name is Heather Gillespie. The name God gave me is Coco Chanel YSL. You guys have a great day.